Hello and welcome to Mann's Model Moments. Now, Disney may have killed Star Wars, and The Mandalorian may be a flop at the box office, but it does give us an excuse to look at one of the coolest starfighters to come out of Lucasfilm, and that is the X-Wing that Revell have just released for the Mandalorian film. This is Carson Teva's X-Wing fighter. I have no idea who Carson Teva is. I have no interest in finding out, but I do want to have a look at this kit. So, as I mentioned, this is a recent boxing. It's not a new kit, but I think the scheme is pretty cool, and this kit hasn't been around for a while, so let's have a look inside. Now, unfortunately, it is an old-style end-opening box. So we're going to slide out the contents, and that's interesting. Straight away, this kit is not bagged. Wow. Okay, so we have our instruction manual, and inside we have a pretty extensive decal sheet. The safety bit that everybody throws away, and then we have our frames, and it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames of plastic, 1 pilot, 1 droid, 1 clear frame, and some bits which have fallen off, which look like just little tabs, but I'll put them to one side just in case. Really surprised this isn't bagged, and wow, I don't know what to say about that, really. Well, let's have a look at them, I guess. Okay, so instructions. Nice full colour instruction booklet, A4 format, traditional Revell booklet style. All of their pictorial kind of interpretations of what to do, all of the symbols with different languages telling you what they mean. The decal sheet, which we'll come to shortly. All of the colours you're to use, including how to mix where you need to mix them. The frames, which is probably important given that they're not bagged. Looks like we don't have any pieces that you don't use, which I'm not surprised at. And then immediately into painting the pilot. Interesting looking pilot, but gloss over that. And then we're into the actual build itself. Interestingly, it shows you filing down all of these pieces, so presumably there's a decal for the instrument panel instead. And then it actually shows you how to paint and where to put everything before putting things together, which is interesting. Interesting way to do it. So, fairly obvious construction sequence. Quite detailed on like how to decal your droid. And then you've got your little landing struts, should you wish them, or if not, you can just leave it without and put these little blanking pieces in. Finally, you have the overall look of this, where all the decals go, although it's also been shown all the way through, so interesting way of approaching it. Let's actually have a look at the plastic now. Okay, so this is the main body of the X-Wing, and we do have engraved detail. It's fairly heavy, but that's probably good for a kit like this, which, you know, you can weather the crap out of these. It looks pretty good though, overall. The actual crispness of the moulding is good, the detail level is good, so overall that doesn't look bad. Next up are the wings of the X-Wing. Now, these obviously go together, they work as a mechanism. The upper and lower surfaces are all like surfaced here. They're not pieces which you have to put together. and then you obviously have to join these two pieces to make the mechanism work. But these look pretty good as well. You've got good casting here. These are quite thick pieces, and yet I don't see any visible sink marks in them. So the casting's pretty good. A few bits of flash, but nothing too onerous overall. Looks pretty good. Okay, next are the engines, the main engine nacelles, the sort of main bit, and then the sort of exhaust piece. Look fairly simple. Of course, these go onto the wings. So these are the lower ones that have those struts in potentially, and the upper ones. All look pretty good. To go with those, we have the other half of those exhaust section pieces. We've got the rear of the starfighter and the cockpit, or the seat, I should say. Cockpit tub. There's that blanking piece, if you don't want it to be parked. All looks pretty straightforward. Okay, this section is for your blasters that go at the end of the wings, forming the X. And these all look pretty good. So, nothing much to say about these. They are single piece for the body and for the actual blaster, I don't know, emitter, whatever you call it, barrel, whatever. All looks pretty good. Final piece here is for some of the internal pieces. These are for the engines, and then the undercarriage, these skids that you have, or the covers for them. So it's a pretty basic kit, but you have reasonable detail. It's crisply moulded. A lot of it looks like it's push fit. You know, you do have some, detail on the inside of pieces. So, not too bad. Okay, the decal sheet here is pretty big. It's pretty extensive. I think this is one of the main draws for this particular edition of the X-Wing. It's quite a nice scheme. You've got quite a lot going on here. You've got quite a lot of bits for the pilot and for the droid as well. So this is a pretty good sheet. Obviously, it's printed by Cartograf. You've got really nice details. Here's that piece for the top of the droid there. It all looks pretty good. So nothing really to detract here. The only thing I would say is, if this is for a younger or a starter modeler, this could be quite intimidating. The kit itself is pretty simple, but this decal sheet, would make even some fairly seasoned modelers sweat a little. But that's the only detractor I can see, is that this is a big draw, but it's also potentially one of the kit's most complex pieces, and thus kind of may put some people off. But it looks pretty good. Okay, so here we have the droid and the pilot. And one of the things I didn't realise until I've actually got these out is that these are not styrene. These seem to be some sort of vinyl polymer, which is interesting. It's going to make them a little harder in terms of painting, because they're not easy to paint, this sort of plastic, this sort of slightly flexible plastic. But they are pretty detailed, considering their scale, which is a rather strange, I think it's 1/56th or 1/57th scale that these are, but not bad. So the only observation I would make about this guy is he doesn't seem to have a visor, which makes him look a little bit like he's just a skull in a helmet, which is a rather unfortunate look. Especially when it does sort of show that there is a visor on the kit. But slightly odd choice. Not quite sure why they've made that, but there they are. Okay, the last frame here is the clear frame. and it's a little bit chunky. You're not really going to, I mean, the optical distortion in that is absolutely appalling because it is incredibly thick. But the main one is not too bad. The optical distortion through that is minimal. It's very clear plastic. So it's not bad, but obviously it's the original tool, so it's a bit industrial, but not too bad. So let's give you a close-up view of some of these components. So obviously this is, I think, more designed to appeal to younger modelers rather than seasoned modelers, but you do have some pretty nice detail here. It's all pretty chunky. It's a little bit heavy-handed, but even so, you know, as a modeler, you can make quite a lot of this, I think. So you have plenty to work on here. You know, wash is going to pick up things nicely. The Star Wars universe, a lot of these vehicles are quite grubby. So again, the wings, you know, have lots of panel detail on them. There are the details of the engines, both above and below. Obviously, they have these sections which go over. So it is a little bit robust, I would say, but I think that probably widens its appeal because a younger audience isn't going to get frustrated with this in the way that they might with a slightly more delicate model. And also, it has play value to those sort of children who are going to make this, or, you know, maybe a father makes it, or, you know, uncle or aunt or whatever, and then they get to play with it. So here we have the engines. So you can see there's quite a lot of detail. It's a little bit soft. It's, you know, not movie prop kind of quality, but I think there's a lot you can do with this. So overall, I don't think that's bad. So what do I think of this kit? Well, it's basic, but the tooling is not bad. It comes from, I think, around 2006, and the tooling has held up pretty well in that time. Now, the kit was originally designed as a snap-fit kit, and that shows, but I think that actually helps the kit in terms of its general appeal. I think the main detractor, as I mentioned, could be the complexity of those decals for a younger modeler. The price point is £25-ish, which is a little on the high side, but it is a Disney franchise, so obviously they have to take their cut. So it's not too bad overall, I think. Say, a little on the high side, but if you fancy a mojo-build, and you can go nuts with the weathering on something like this, you really try your hand at different techniques, I think it's not a bad value proposition. It's not something that I would instantly rush out and buy, but if I saw one at the right price and fancied doing something a little bit different, I think this is a good kit. One of the unfathomable decisions that I think Revell have made here, though, is not to bag the frames. I've never seen that in a modern Revell kit, and I don't know why they've done it here, whether it's to save money, but I think the amount of money that could be saved from a plastic bag seems trivial, especially when this is an end-opening box, and if anything does come loose, could easily find its way out through one of those flaps. So that's a weird one. Build that into your value assessment of this kit, and please let me know what you think of it in the comments section below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see other videos like this, and tips, tricks, and other types of things, please do subscribe to the channel, and put the notification bell to all to make sure that you're aware when other videos are uploaded. Anyway, that's all from me for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.